And we are live. Welcome to episode 2 of the podcast, The Healing Journey. How you been, Suze?
Pretty good. Pretty excited with all the healing stories that have been coming through the past month.
Absolutely. We've had a cracker of a last month. We wanted to get to you sooner, but we were waiting for our new podcast mics to greatly improve the audio quality. So
they're here now.
Yeah, very excited about that.
Yeah.
And we're coming to you from our new 12-unit energy healing hub room. As you can see above here, it's very lovely in here. So we're very excited about today.
We've named it the immersion room because it literally feels like you're immersing yourself with high vibrational energy. And not just that, but this is the room where people will be immersing themselves in activities, events, classes, workshop, information.
Yeah, like definitely there's going to be a huge educational component coming out of this room. And that's partly what this podcast serves to do. So we want to educate people as much as possible, and especially on the healing journey, how to get the best results possible. So Suze, why don't you tell us what we're going to talk about today?
Okay, so we're going to discuss in 2 parts. Those who are on the healing journey and looking to use the EESystem as part of their healing journey, the elements of success and the elements of failure. Very important, right, Kenny?
Absolutely. We need to know both so that we can try to stay away from the failures and move towards the successful path.
And we've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of customers now over the past year. We've almost been open a year. Next month will be exactly 1 year that we opened our doors. And so we've seen a good case study of the elements that go into creating healing success and the obstructions or the blocks that can create failure on the healing journey. So we want to share those with you guys because some of you may be listening thinking, I'm curious about this thing. How does it work? I'm wondering if it will even work for me. How many sessions do I need? Blah, blah, blah. Those are the typical questions, the most regular questions we get. And we want to equip you guys with the most up-to-date information, the highest quality of information, so it can help you on your healing journey. You can be one of our success stories.
Yeah, and we have a lot of wisdom to share through our own experience and observation, and also through talking to customers and clients. So we know what works and we know what doesn't work. So that's the purpose of today.
Yeah, beautiful. Wonderfully said, Kenny. Okay, so we'll start with the elements of success. Kenny, do you want to discuss with everybody intention setting in the EESystem room?
Yeah.
What is that? Why is it important?
Okay, well, let me start first with, you can come here, you can use the EESystem, you can just sit here and just be exposed to the energy and have it do a positive effect on you. However, the real way to use it is to set intentions. So you set an intention in your mind, typically using your intuition and your third eye, and in here is where all the magic happens, and it amplifies the results in the session. So an intention is pretty much like a goal of how you would like to best get results out of a session. So for example, it could be like, I am ready to receive as much healthy, high vibrational energy as possible. I want to be like a sponge, and I just want to absorb as much of it possible so I can upgrade my body, so I can repair my body, so I can heal my cells, so I can detoxify from toxins and pollutants and other harmful things that happen to the body in the outside world. Or I want to, from here on in, I'm going to upgrade my nervous system so that it is better able to I'm better able to stay calm. My anxiety reduces. I can sleep better.
Cope with day-to-day issues that come up.
So whatever is really relevant to you, it's framing that intention in a positive way, as opposed to, I don't want to have pain anymore, or I don't want to be sick anymore.
So on that, Kenny, that's a very important point, because that happens quite a lot, and we hear that in the language of the people that come in here. So if I was to come in here and my mindset was a little bit low and I was feeling a bit negative and down on myself, which is normal, that's, part of the human journey, and I wrote down on my intention setting notepad in the room, I don't want to feel pain anymore, how could I rework that for it to attract my highest timeline or my highest purpose or the highest intention for me? How would I reword that?
Absolutely. This is important. So I would reword that personally. I would say, okay, I'd sit down on my chair. I'd set the intention that I am going to go on a healing journey as of today. And from today forward, I am going to reduce the amount of pain I feel in the body. I'm going to feel vibrant. My body feels amazing. My knees working amazing. I'm able to walk better and visualize it rather than I don't want this. So you're setting the intention for what you do want as opposed to what you don't want. And then if you attach emotion to that, where you visualize it and feel it and see it happening, it becomes even more powerful.
And this is something the creator of the technology has discussed plenty of times, Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, positive intention setting. So this is bang on exactly what we aim to do at the start of each session. Awesome stuff. Okay.
We also, our staff, when we go into the room, before each session, we do set a healing intention for the collective of the group. And every morning, Suzy comes in, she sets a overall... Would you like to talk about that healing intention for the room?
So I come into the room and I bring in the light of the highest vibration, and I set the intention through the light of the highest vibration for protection, healing, recharge, and resetting of every individual that comes through our doors every day.
So it starts on a base level overall, and then every session we set a collective intention, the staff, for the people in that room, that they get the best results possible. And then we ask you guys, when you come in, to also do the same and not just lie there, but set the intention for the highest outcome that you would like to see as a result of being there. And it's just so much more powerful. The intention, using intention, is where the magic of the healing happens. If you don't set that intention, it becomes very difficult for you to get specific results. It's just like sailing in the wind with no clear direction on where to go. So you have to guide that. And that's how you do it.
Great analogy, Kenny. And it all links back to willpower and free will. If you're not using your free will to access your highest purpose, you will not receive. You know, they say, seek and you shall find, knock and you shall receive. Those words couldn't be truer, especially in the healing journey.
Yeah, you got to consent. You're operating at a certain vibration, which could be illness, disease, fatigue, mental illness, anything like that. You have to commit within that you're done with that and you want to move forward on a transformative journey to actually heal, to leave that broken, wounded, injured, sick identity behind and start moving towards a healthy, vibrant being, which is our natural state. We're meant to be like that.
Absolutely. Can I use a client of ours as an example? This client of ours, not going to name any names clearly, she had been to Peru, done ayahuasca a couple of times, and then found me and found the EESystem, and she was stuck when she came to me. She had a lot of childhood trauma, past life trauma as well on top of that, and a lot of triggers, and she was stuck in anxiety and grief and depression. And she'd been to Peru twice, had, those violent 2-3 day, whatever they are, of stuff coming up, but still was not shifting, okay? And she was struggling in her marriage, struggling in her home. She got to the point where she'd done a few sessions with me where I'd revealed a lot of information of not just current trauma, but past life trauma too, that were triggering her, that was ready to be healed, ready to be cleared. She came to me after maybe a few months and said, Suzy, I understand now what is holding me back. Thank you. And now that I understand what's holding me back, I am ready to ascend. I am ready to heal. She said these words to me, and after she had a session in the EESystem and said those words to me and did some healing work with me in the room, that was it. The next day, she contacted me and said, you won't believe how much I have shifted in the last 24 hours. I'm happy. I feel lighter. I don't remember the last time I felt this way, and my husband is reaping the rewards of who I am now. So she did it. She worked out the formula and she did it.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's it. You said something really critical there. I am ready to heal. I am ready to receive beautiful energy. I am ready to receive upgrades to my body. I am ready to upgrade my DNA. I am ready to repair and heal my DNA. They're powerful words.
Absolutely.
Actually saying them, writing them down, greatly will enhance your results.
Absolutely.
So, I'd say that would be the intention component.
Yeah. And so elements of success, the second element of success we believe is important is releasing and letting go of what comes up for you or what shows up for you. So what kind of things can show up for someone using the EE system? Can give us some examples.
Oh, a lot of things. We have people that actually, it brings up anger. So a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
Anger, sadness, traumas. It's going to bring these things to the surface because you can speak a lot more on this.
Oh, yeah.
The emotions are, they are telling a story. They're holding pain. They're holding a story.
These are blockages. These are blockages in the emotional, the energetic, the mental, the physical body, because they can manifest as physical disease. These emotional, mental, and energetic blockages. These blockages come up, and the symptoms are, like you said, emotional outbursts, sadness, physical detox symptoms. These things come up not to hound and harass you, but because they're just simply ready to be processed, released, and healed. And so then it's up to you what you do with these things that come up. Your psyche, your subconscious, your higher consciousness is telling you in this environment, this super healthy environment, this is what is stopping you from healing completely. And sometimes our conscious mind has no clue what is stopping us until we come into an environment like this that digs deep into the subconscious and it brings up something to our awareness that is needing to be registered, processed, and then healed. And you can do it. You can be your self-healer if you believe and trust in yourself and the process. Yeah. So we've seen people do this in here, but like you said, Kenny, you've seen especially some people have anger attacks and not know how to deal with this, the stuff and the energy.
Yeah, it can trigger people. And sometimes people come in and they get like headaches. That's a common one.
Yeah.
It's a common one that people get. It's not common to happen, but that usually happens because there's a block there. And would you say it's like a resistance to change?
Absolutely.
That's how I interpret it.
Absolutely. A resistance to change, but a thought or a mindset in the crown chakra or the third eye chakra that is in the head. A thought or a block or a resistance in mindset that is stopping you from moving forward. Okay, is what I would call that.
So when you experience these things, it's not a bad thing. We look at it like if you have headaches or nausea or something like that, it's a sign of change. And it's what do you do with that? Do you shrink and go into fear and avoid and then fall off the healing journey? Or do you embrace it and go, okay, what is this showing me? Why is this showing up? I see something's going on here. I need to work on this, obviously. And this is obviously in the way of my healing journey.
100%. Absolutely. And so, yes, so what comes up, like Kenny said, could be emotional, physical, mental. And so then you get the choice and you're at two crossroads. Do I resist and ignore, or do I work with what's coming up and seek the answers? And they're easy to come by in this environment and easy to solve. So then the next point for element of success is how do these energy blocks in the energy body manifest and into the physical body and create disease?
I think.
You want me to take that one as well?
You're the specialist on that.
Okay, so most people understand or know that we've got 7 main energy centers in the body. Each different energy body attributes to a different, aspect of ourselves and how we respond with the external environment, how our internal environment integrates with our external stimulus, I believe. And so I'll just quickly name what those 7 main energy centers are, and I'm just going to quickly give examples of how I see those energetic blocks showing up in the physical inside the room. Yes. Okay, because I do a lot of energetic clearing on an individual level in sessions within the EE system, and so I've seen a lot. Okay, all right, so let's start. We've got the red center at the root base of the body that revolves around the lower back. The red center governs our sense of grounding, belongingness, matters of the home, finances, physical concerns, balance between the masculine and feminine also shows up here. What do we lean into when we are in survival mode? Because the red center is the survival center. Everything that we come in contact with that has anything to do with survival gets stored here. Okay. And then you've got next the orange center, which is located around the body in the lower abdomen region. This orange center, it has attributes of emotional balance, so emotional regulation, fertility, reproduction, creativity, and flow. And all desire is also stored here. So if you have an issue in any of these departments, the block will show up in this particular energetic center and within the physical area of the body in this area as well. Okay, then we move upwards towards the yellow energy center, which is the solar plexus energy center that revolves around the upper abdominal region. Okay, this energy center is linked to self-esteem, inner power, motivation, and optimism. Okay, it's also the location where I see any inner child blocks in terms of dynamic within the family. Then we move on to the heart space, the green energy center. So this covers the lungs, the upper back, the shoulders too. So any energetic blocks that come into this center have something to do with relationships and even the relationship that you hold with yourself. So self-love, any blocks around that show up in this area. And so if you have any physical disease in this area, you need to be asking yourself, are they related to any of my relationships or the relationship I have with myself? Then we move over to the throat center. So this is the center, the light blue center that revolves around the neck. This center governs our communication and speaking our truth. Okay. And so anything that's going on for you physically in the neck, you need to ask yourself, am I speaking my truth? Is there something wrong with my communication? Do I have any blocks around communication? So then we move up to the forehead, and right in between the eyebrows, we have kind of like a indigo laser beam coming from between our two eyebrows. And this is the indigo light center. This is the center that governs our intuition, our focus, and our clarity. Okay, so if it's foggy, I know that you've got a lot of whirling thoughts going on in your mind. You need to clear the third eye or the indigo center. Then we move on. Lastly, the last and main energy center above the head is called the crown energy center. This is purple, and it basically governs our spiritual connection, so our connection with the divine. Now, for example, sometimes, and this is a common one in women, Kenny, when I see blocks in the throat center, so, around the neck, I find typically that they've got problems with the thyroid. Okay. Yeah. And thyroid is a common issue with women, as we know. And so that's one that comes up quite regularly. And another one that comes up quite regularly is when I see stuck energy coming from the lower spine, up the spine, that I get to remove this dark energy from the root chakra or the base or the survival chakra. I know that's a block linked to responsibility and taking on too much burden. Okay. And when I do mention this in the report, my clients later say, oh my goodness, I have sore back all the time. And I say, well, release those burdens. It's where you're holding your stress and you'll feel a lot better. The back pain will go away. So these are examples of how the energy body and having blocks in the energy body can affect the physical body and manifest as physical disease. Well, it's interesting stuff.
Yes. And so my perspective from the physio world, I see a lot of things that I treat physically and it's not getting to the root cause of the problem. And the root cause of the problem is not physical. And there is definitely emotional blockages that need clearing. And that's the direction we're trying to move in. Many people with chronic conditions that are struggling to heal, struggling to let go of things, there's blockages that are in the way. And it's the energy work that we need to do. The energy is the blueprint for the body. If we can fix from the blueprint level, then the body will ultimately
recalibrate.
It'll recalibrate to reflect the energy. So that's why this work is so important. That's why it's important to set the intentions. It's important to become aware of emotional triggers or blockages and to seek help. And we're here to help with that. And then once we clear them, then more energy can flow through and everything can just be
in balance.
Vibrant.
Yeah. And Kenny, this is one of the reasons why we're frustrated as a physiotherapist in the physiotherapy profession, because you taught and, you instructed on the physical body, purely the physical body, and you're not taught about the emotional, the mental, the energetic body in physiotherapy. And you are becoming quite frustrated because you realize there's an element that's missing here. My clients are not responding to what the textbook says they should be responding to.
Yep. So you got to go deeper.
Yeah.
And that's why we exist here, and that's what we're for. We're here to heal the energy body. And then everything else just manifests beautifully after that. That's the work we're doing, the energy work.
Beautiful, Kenny. So we discussed the elements of failure.
Sure.
Absolutely. So now let's go into why people may not get results. Starting with viewing emotional reactions or harsh physical detox symptoms as failure on the healing journey and giving up. Do you want to expand on that, Kenny?
Yes. This is ultimately why we've introduced memberships as the main way to utilize the EESystem, okay? So firstly, it's about expectation setting. I think some people have the wrong idea. They think that, a lot of people ask, how many sessions will it take to fix my pain or help me get rid of my respiratory disease or my autoimmune disorder, something like that, something big. How many sessions? So the mindset is, okay, it's still a three-dimensional mindset. It's like, okay, they're looking at it like it's medicine.
Like it's transactional, which we've been programmed to do from the pharmacies.
But this is a whole completely new paradigm, right? So it's not, so some people might come in and they might use it once or twice. They might experience some discomfort like headaches or detox symptoms.
Stiffness in the body.
Or very tired the next day. And they might look at that and go, oh, well, I don't feel better. Nah, this isn't good for me, or this isn't going to work. I should go in there. They have this expectation that I should go in there and it should just take everything away from me and fix me. I don't have to do any work. It's going to do it for me. And if it doesn't fix me, then it's not for me. And they just give up. Okay? That is not how you get results, and that's not how it works, okay? So it's the prime function of the energy enhancement system is to help your body, give it the resources, the nourishment, the nutrients, the energetic nourishment that it needs to thrive, okay? We're living out there in that world, and it's toxic.
Yeah.
Everything is stress, survival, fight or flight. You cannot be in a stressed state and be an efficient healer. Your body cannot regenerate efficiently under those conditions.
And Kenny, sorry to interrupt, but not to mention the toxins in the air and the food and the music and everywhere, everything else.
We're constantly being bombarded by all of this, right? So we do not have the ingredients to thrive optimally and, well, normally, right? But this is a new paradigm of healing.
Yeah.
Okay, energy medicine. We are now trying to go back to our original design.
Yeah.
We are energetic beings at our core. That is at the primal unit of everything that manifests into the physical body. So we're going back to the energetic source and starting to make repairs at the blueprint level. Now, when you're working in the energy world, it's much faster than in the physical world, yes. However, depending on what you're coming in with and where you're at, and most people are not coming in great states at all. We know that. We can see what's happening in the world right now with people's health. If you come and use the system and things show up in the body, we see that as a great thing.
Yeah, it's working.
That's actually
working.
physical evidence of an energetic shift.
Yeah.
You're going into an energetic technology and all of a sudden you feel some physical changes within the body. Okay, great. It may not be, mind you, majority of people do feel the blissful, joyous, peace, calmful experiences, and that's no issue because they just keep coming and using it and upgrading and changing, etc. But we're talking to the ones that do experience symptoms or any sort of discomfort.
And you know, the creator of the technology, she discusses this as being an awesome situation to be in because it's a sign that you've got toxins in your body and your body is struggling to purge them, and it needs this high vibrational energy to continue to purge that. So if you leave a session and you've got a headache or, you know, you're feeling exhausted or fatigued or achy and painy, you've got detox symptoms. Your body is trying to release a large amount of toxins. And what that basically means is not only do you need to hop into a detox bath, but you need to come back to the center as soon as you can and allow your body to continue to purge what it's needing and trying to release. Okay?
On that note, I can think of one recent example with a client who wanted to go on a massive healing journey, and she was doing 3 sessions a week, 2 days, 2 days apart. I would say she's done a lot of sessions now. She's done like over 20 sessions in a short period of time. And I would say I was there for every single one of her sessions. I would say maybe the first 8 sessions, even 9 sessions, she was getting significant detox symptoms, and we would have these conversations. She was determined, and I'm like, okay, this is good. There's just a lot that needs to come out and clear, a lot. And it just kept happening, and it wasn't getting any less. But she kept persisting. She did an excellent job. After about the 9th session, nothing. No more detox symptoms. It's gone. And she has gone from, you know, she wasn't feeling any physical observable changes yet, even though things were happening on an energetic level. But 2-3 weeks later, it's gone exponential. She's a different person now, completely unrecognizable. But she was persistent and she went through the discomfort. The discomfort is part of the healing journey.
Absolutely.
If you choose to shy away from it or don't want to face that or don't want to face whatever's coming up, it's going to be hard for you to clear that. And I don't know how that would ever change. It would be something that would stick around. It just stays in you until we suppress it, and it might manifest into some other illness or injury or disease.
Yeah.
I mean, if these things show up, if there's no better time to deal with it or clear it than the present. If not now, then when?
Absolutely.
So that's that's why people may not get results, is because they shy away or they don't want to go through the discomfort to heal. But that is part of the healing journey. That's a critical ingredient.
Absolutely. And making note here that goes back to the emotional stuff that comes up too. If it stirs up some old emotions, it means they're not completely healed within you. And it's time to look at those because they're stopping you from moving forward on your healing journey. And we do get people that, you know, like Kenny said, erupt in anger because it stirred something up and they don't want to come back because they're just too triggered. And let that be a cursor or a identification for you that there's something that needs to be attended to within your psyche, within your emotional body. And it's okay. And you can get through to the other side, and this energy can support you through that. You come back here, and I have a client of mine, and he did just this. He had a lot of childhood trauma, and he came to the system, and he had one thing come up for him. Then I told him, great. Use that as your intention. That is what you are needing to heal from right now because it's come up for you first. It's your body's or your mind's highest priority. Work on that and set that as an intention. And he did. And he cleared it. Then he came through with something else, something not as high of a priority. And then he worked on that and he cleared that. And then something else came up until he feels like a absolute unrecognizable version of himself. And he persisted and he did not give up on himself. And that's the element that sets apart those who will succeed on their healing journey from those who will not find success.
Well, that's it. Well, the critical ingredient between the two cases we just gave is commitment. Commitment to the healing journey. Commitment to no longer be like how you were before. Commitment to no longer have these problems. Commitment to no longer being sick or ill or always being in pain or suffering. It's a choice. You can choose not to have that. And then you can go and deal with whatever comes up as part of the process. Like, we want you to look at it like it's almost like a gift. You've been given clues on how to heal and what the body is. I love this quote. The body is an external manifestation of an interior condition. The body is showing you. We were having this conversation the other day.
Yeah.
The body shows us things before we become consciously aware of them.
Absolutely.
If you're more in tune with your body and you listen to your body and you have a positive, healthy relationship with your body, you go on a healing journey and you just keep getting better and better, less sick, less ill, and just more lighter and vibrant.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
This next point is a surefire way of, your healing journey being cut short. Not being ready to release those blocks or emotions that show up for you. You know who I'm talking about, Kenny. The client or the patient, you've seen it in physio, who's created an identity and their story is the disease.
Oh.
They're not ready to release that story because it means that they will have to let go of an identity that they have created for themselves.
Yeah, this is a big one. A big source of frustration for me, I guess more so in the past. There are many, many people that I've come across as a physiotherapist that are attached to their identity of pain, particularly chronic pain, and they enjoy deep down, or they get energized by playing the victim, and it's ultimately becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They don't know who they are without that injury or disease. They don't know. It dominates their thought processes and their mind and the way they live. And you present them with a solution, but if they're not ready to let go of that, they don't follow the advice. They don't follow your prescription. They don't follow what you're telling them. That they're not committing. They haven't made the fundamental ingredient is that commitment. We keep coming back to this. That commitment to no longer be like this. That commitment to transcend your injury, illness, pain, problem.
Yeah.
You have to want to let go of it. And you have to want it from the core of your being, from your heart. You have to want to let go.
Yeah.
But if you're struggling to let go of that and visualize what you could be without that, unfortunately, it's sad because you're going to be stuck with it.
Absolutely. And it goes back to free will. If your will is not to let go of this identity that's causing you to be unwell, then you will not get better. And you need to continually be revising what your will and intentions are. So important.
It's really that simple. Yeah. It's a choice and it's a commitment. Yeah, I guess it's, and when people are ready, sometimes people have to get to rock bottom.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they ignore the signs and the body will just keep screaming and things will manifest in the body and show up. Could be serious illness, could be chronic pain, could be debilitating pain, could manifest accidents and injuries and repeating patterns, always getting injured. It's always something else.
Yeah. But
they're not listening to the body, then that's the communication's there, the noise is there. Most people don't know about this, so I guess that's why we're having this conversation. There's not enough education out there about this.
Yeah.
But until you're ready to let go of it and go on that journey, it's tough.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're going to wrap things up for episode 2, The Healing Journey. I hope you guys all enjoy it. And obviously we love and adore any feedback that you might have or any questions you might have so that we can answer them in our next podcast. Now, our next podcast, episode 3, I'm very excited about this because this is going to shine a light that a lot of people, question us on the daily and quite not understanding. So this is a gray area. What is the connection with the EESystem and spirituality and spiritual activations? And how can anybody from any faith or any background use the energy to activate them further on their spiritual journey? What is the connection there, Kenny? We'll talk about that next week on episode 3, The Spiritual Journey with the EESystem.
Oh,
it's going to be a good one.
Can't wait. It's my favorite topic.
Ruffle a few feathers, maybe, maybe not. Okay, everybody, Thank you for having us.
See you all. Bye.
Bye.